Hello and welcome to today's session with me. I'm Helga here at the Sunnyyogaflow online studio. This is our fourth session of the Winter Wellness Home Retreat, and you can do this class as part of that series or just on its own today. So, as always, when you're practicing yoga from home with me, just make sure that you have a nice, clean and clear space in your home where you're going to put your mats. And I always invite you to make a drink as well. So if you're into that, just take a moment now before the class to make yourself a nice hot drink, or maybe just a fresh glass of orange juice, or definitely some water. And I hope that you've been well since 2025 has just started and that you're taking very good care of yourself. For today's class, you are going to need your yoga mat and of course your comfy and stretchy clothes, and also a pen and paper. If you have a journal, that's perfect. If not, just a pen and paper. And today's class is a grounding vinyasa. So we're going to do first a yoga class that is going to feel hopefully very good to you. You're going to feel grounded and connected and calm. And then we are going to take a moment for a self-development exercise on the journal. So today's session really is all about just grounding and connecting with the world around you, but also connecting with your gifts and your joy and your self-confidence. Let's get started when you're ready, just in a seated position on the mat. And I'm gonna draw one card for us. One card here from my intuition oracle. And I just ask here, putting a hand to my heart, which card is going to serve us collectively. Hear me doing the class recording and then sending this out to you at home, practicing the class, and everybody else that is practicing the class. So as a collective, which card is going to serve us today during the class, but also during the month of January, the new month of a new year. Let's see what energy we get. All right, so just taking a moment here, connecting with the cards, clearing the space for us. The intuition oracle. So taking the cards out here. And I'm going to be grabbing them in my hands and shuffle them a little bit before closing my eyes. And let's just see which one naturally comes to me. Placing them on the floor and without too much hesitation, just from my heart, grabbing one. All right. Yeah, I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. This is card number 42, the joyful. I'll show you, it's really pretty. I like the image as well. And I think this message just really comes through as there's no time to not enjoy your life, right? It's in your hands to cultivate a purposeful and joyful life that really feels good to you. And so this is going to be our message here today for the class. All right. Now let's start seated on the mat with a breathing exercise or two, starting with Apana Vayu. So taking your arms, palms of hands up to chest, inhaling. And then pushing the palms down towards the earth, exhale. Let's continue that, inhaling, palms up. Exhale, let go. Continue this breath, synchronizing your movement with your breath. In your own time, inhaling up and exhaling, push down towards the earth. Beautiful, and you can have a smile on your face. Nicely done. Next breath, hands to heart, inhale. Draw the love in and exhale, arms out just in any way that you want. You can round your back, just letting go here. Inhaling, hands to heart, breathe in love. Exhale, everything out, free yourself. Continue this in your own time. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale. Letting go. Inhaling. And exhaling. Nicely done. Now simply place your hands on your knees as you sit here and take a moment to say that you are gonna be present in class today, present in your body with joy and gratitude for your practice. All right. Now getting you to start our first pose, just laying on the back. Feeling the connection of the floor underneath your back. Soles of feet are on the mat, your knees are bent. Taking the arms overhead, you can grab hold of each elbow, keeping the arms close to your head. Just enjoying this pose for a moment. Laying your body on the ground. And now lifting your right leg up to sky, extending it, and extend your arms as well, lifting your head and shoulders a little bit off the floor. If it feels good, you can grab a hold of the leg with your arms and just wake up a little bit the foot, spread the toes, maybe turn, rotate the ankle. And finally letting the foot back down and doing the same with the left leg, extending it up to sky. Arms and head and shoulders as well, really squeezing and elongating yourself. And grabbing hold of the leg, of the calf there, if that feels good. And just moving the toes a little. Very nice. Place the foot back down. And now come up into a bridge pose, and the palms of the hands are going to touch the mat for more connection. So the arms are just alongside you, palms touching the mat. And we're squeezing the glutes, lifting those hips up to sky, keeping the knees close together. And breathing nicely here. And very slowly lowering down one vertebrae by vertebrae, upper body, middle, and lower back. All right, now roll yourself up a few times and back down. We're going to do that 5 times, more or less, so just in your own time, gracefully rocking back and forth on your mat with the hands under the knees. Beautiful. All right, now come and sit on the mat, legs extended just for a moment. before our next pose, you can grab yourself a drink, a sip of your drink if you had one, and I'll explain our next position. So from having your legs extended in front of you, you're gonna take your left leg and take it inside, bent, and then take the right leg on top of it if you can. Just take a moment to set this up. And then letting the chest fall down towards the earth, palms of hands are touching your mat. And the neck is soft, can bow down if that feels good. If this really doesn't feel good in your leg or knee or anything, you can always have the right foot in front of the left leg rather than on top of it. So just take a moment to set yourself up and readjust anything you need. And then just finding stillness here in this pose. Beautiful opening and stretch for the legs and hips. And feeling the mat underneath your hands. Allowing this moment for yourself. And inhaling and exhaling nicely here in this pose. And just very, very softly and gently in your own time coming back up to a straight back. And just extend your legs here for a moment. You can give themselves a little shake. And when you are ready, you can do the same on the other side. So this time bringing right leg in and then left leg on top or in front of it. I recommend on top if you can. And just straightening your back nicely before folding down hard towards the mat. Palms of hands are touching the mat and your fingers are spread really nicely, quite active hands. Really soaking up the energy of the earth, the good energy of the new year. All the while breathing into the parts of the body that need it. Any sensation or tingling in the legs, you can send your breath and awareness there. Welcoming new space within. And take nice big breaths. I'm doing the lion breath here, sticking my tongue out on the exhale. You're very welcome to do those at any time during class today. Lion's breath. Now gently bring yourself back up into your seated position and we continue our sequence. So just taking a moment to extend the legs if you need, shake them a little. And then come and sit really in the middle of the mat. Make sure you have a lot of space around you. Gonna be extending the legs out into a wide forward fold. So taking the legs out with lots of space between the ankles. Really wide opening here. And then making sure that your back is nice and straight, crown of head is at the top, elongated towards the ceiling. And then folding the chest down towards the floor, letting the palms of hand just land wherever they want. No need to force anything, just finding your sweet spot here. And now walk your hands ever so gently and slowly over to one ankle. And then do the same over to the other ankle. All the while breathing, and do this one more time. Walking the hands all the way over to one leg. And then over to the opposite leg. And back to the center, surrendering to this forward fold. Connecting with the beauty within yourself, the energies within your body. Carefully bringing yourself back up whenever you are ready, just walking your fingertips closer to you and bringing the back slowly and the head back up to an upright position. Closing the legs, feel free to rub the legs a little bit here like I'm doing if you want to. That feels good, just rubbing the inside of the thighs and the legs and outside of the legs before closing the legs. Beautiful. Now find a tabletop on the mat for a few cat-cows here. So inhaling, looking up, and exhaling, dropping the head, rounding the back really nicely, pushing the floor away. Inhaling, arching the back, sliding those shoulders behind you, and exhale, dropping head. Inhale, up, and exhale, rounding the back. And now for a thread the needle, take your right arm underneath the left armpit, and you're welcome to extend your left leg out to the side as well for a deeper pose. And gently lift yourself back up to center, to your tabletop for the same on the other side, threading the left arm underneath right armpit, side of the face is on the mat, and you can extend your right leg out to the side if that feels good. And now bring yourself back to center carefully. Nicely done. Now if you had your socks on, you can take them off. We're going to be doing a down dog and a few other things now, so to not slip, I do recommend just take your socks off and just make sure that you're comfortable for the rest of our sequence, connecting with your presence. All right. So take one arm now up to sky, the other hand on the floor for a side bend to warm up a little, and do the same on the other side. Now a few rolls with the shoulders, just any movement within the shoulders that feels nice and spacious to you before our down dog. Free flow movements here, and maybe a few neck rolls as well. You can take your head over to one shoulder and then down and then across to the other shoulder. Beautiful. Now let's get started. Tuck the toes under, nice flat hands, and now lift your knees off the ground and then place the knees back onto the ground. And let's do this again, lifting off the knees and finding our down dog. So walk your dog here, really connect with your body. almost in a fluid, sensual, free flow way, just not thinking, just really feeling the body and how it wants to move. Now come back to stillness in your down dog, and we're going to be raising the right leg all the way up to sky. So maybe walk your legs closer first and then raise the right leg up to sky. You can bend the knee if that feels good to you. And then place the foot down, and we're doing the same on the other side, lifting the left leg up to sky, bending knee here, and placing the foot back down. Now taking your right foot to the front into pigeon, so just take all the time you need to set this up. Pigeon pose with the right foot at the front. It doesn't matter too much if you're 100% square, we rarely are, but the intention is to have the hips square and the knee more or less close to your right hand and the foot more or less close to your left hand, right? You can walk your back leg a little bit further down for more space. An option here to either stay on the fingertips, stay up on the hands, that's stretchy enough, or come up on the forearms. Just taking a moment here in this pose. And remember, you're welcome to do the lion's breath, inhaling through nose and exhaling tongue out, or flutter the lips if that feels good, just any breath to release. Now take your right leg all the way back into a plank and hold the plank on the forearms, connecting with your breath, your force, your beauty. Let's go. Now slowly release, come all the way down on the floor, looking down at the mat, and take your arms behind you for locust, lifting the knees off. Now taking right forearm in front of you on the mat and grab hold of your left leg with your left arm, breathing here. And release. Now take your left forearm on the mat in front of you and grab your right foot with right hand. And look over to the right. Nice opening. And now push yourself all the way back up into a tabletop and slide into a nice child's pose for a moment. Option to take the arms in prayer just above the head by the neck, if that feels good. Soft face here, letting go of any tension that you're holding. Releasing the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, letting there be space. Now carefully come out of child's pose and hop back into your down dog. Beautiful. And you're welcome to walk the dog here, bending one knee then the other. Maybe you even want to lift one foot off the floor and take it over to the other foot. Any movement that feels good here in down dog, bending the knee. Now finding stillness and taking your left leg to the front by your wrists into pigeon pose here. Taking your time to set up the pigeon pose. Either staying up on the hands or folding down on the forearms, whichever position you choose. Just softening here in pigeon pose. And you might want to have a slight smile on your face, knowing that your purpose in this life is to actually be happy and feel really good in your body. Really, really connecting to that energy here in pigeon pose. Now ever so gently come out of pigeon pose and simply take your legs to the front, extended in a seated position. Might want to shake the legs a little, just restoring yourself. And we'll be taking our last pose of today's yoga class, the cow pose. So taking your right leg over the left knee. So the left knee is bent on the floor. Sitting nice and upright. And then taking your left arm over, holding your right knee. And your right hand, just let it slide behind you by the middle of your back, and you're looking over to your right for a nice twist in cow pose. Beautiful. Come back to center, release the legs, and we're going to take the cow pose on the other side. So just taking a moment. And when you're ready, bringing in your right leg bent and flat on the floor, and then sliding the left leg over. Sitting upright, breathing nicely before twisting. So right arm comes and hugs the left knee, and you're looking over to the left side of the room here, breathing nicely. And feeling spacious here. And taking a gaze back to center, releasing this position. And come and lay on the mat just to end the practice. As we started, so taking both legs up to sky. And you can either just take a happy baby, so grabbing hold of either the toes or outside of the legs, knees slightly bent. Or you can have your legs extended just straight up in the air, and the arms as well. The legs and arms don't have to touch, just take a really big, nice, juicy stretch here, up in the air, up in the sky, free as a bird. Just taking that moment for yourself to end the class before bringing yourself back up to a seated position. Well done. That was so nice. I hope you enjoyed this class. Now for the last part of today's home retreat session, I'm going to ask you to grab your pen and paper or your journal if you had one, and I'll be guiding you through a self-development and self-confidence exercise. Alright, so hopefully you have your drink and maybe a nice warm piece of clothing around you, just anything that you like to make you feel comfortable. And grab your pen now and open a fresh page of your journal. And I'm going to ask you to write down, what do I really like? What do I really like about myself, and which traits of my personality make me unique? So writing this down first of all, before you answer that question, just writing it down. What do I really like about myself? and which traits of my personality make me unique. So you're welcome to pause this video at any time. You might want to write just a little bit, a few words or a few sentences, or maybe once you start writing, you're gonna just want to continue writing. So anytime you need, just pause this video. Now, I want you to not think too much with your head, just open your heart and honestly answer this question. What are some of the things that you actually really like about yourself? If you look back at your life, at your personality, at some of the things you've done and been, what are some of the things that stand out that are just quite beautiful actually about you? I hope that was enjoyable to you and that you found quite a few things to write. If for some reason you found this exercise difficult and you just didn't really find things that came to mind, then I ask you to just place a hand on your heart, close your eyes, and write just a few words. So for example, maybe you're someone that's really generous. Maybe you're someone that's a bit goofy and funny. Maybe you're someone that really cares and is really sensitive and has a beauty with that. Maybe you're someone that's really creative. So if you find it difficult to actually write, just pop a few words down there and start from there. Now continuing with the exercise. Taking another brand new fresh page and going into a bit more details now here. So write down at the top of the page, naming a few specific things I really love about. And the first one is my body physical attributes. So answering this question, I'm naming a few specific things I really love about my body and physical attributes. And for the sake of this exercise, it's very important that you don't start to think about or write down things that you don't like. I just want to point that out. We are being here with an open heart, a smile on our faces, and we're not being modest. I want you to really even close your eyes, picture yourself, and what are some of the things you actually find really beautiful about yourself. And I'll give you an example. I started to write here, I love my long red hair. I've always loved my hair. I like my blue eyes. I think I've got a great smile. So you can write different things like this that come to mind, just words. You might find yourself wanting to start to write a lot, like something like I love my hands and the fact that my hands can create and that my hands can play an instrument, or I love my legs and the fact that I can walk and enjoy this world with my feet and legs. Like it could be something even that of that nature. So just pause the video if you need. Start to write at least one or two things that you just really love about yourself, physically connecting to the body, and come back to the video whenever you're ready for the next one. So, still under the category of naming a few specific things that we love about ourselves, the next category here or section is my heart intentions, emotional, energetical side. So naming a few specific things I really love about my heart, my intentions, the emotional and energetical side of me. So start to connect more with your essence, who you are within, who you've always been, what your heart is like, your intentions, and the actual energy of you. If you forget about the body, what is more within your heart that you find really beautiful and that you want to write down here, put down to paper. Let's go. The next one on the list is naming a few specific things I really love about my mind, my mindset, my ideas, my vision within my mind, and my sort of convictions as a person. What are your values and your mindset really when it comes to your mind? What are some attributes that you sort of always had, even, since being, if you look back at when you were a child, a teenager, just how have you been going through life? What are some of your personal traits when it comes to your mindset and your vision and your convictions? Write down a few things that you feel kind of set you apart a little bit, things that are unique about you and that you're really happy about and proud of. Now, writing down the next one, naming a few specific things I really love about my creative side, creator, the fact that I am a creator, and that throughout my life there have been things that I've created, projects that I've started, ideas that I've had. Maybe I've actually created art or physical things with my hands, or maybe you've started a group of friends, maybe you created a trip. Like, what have been some of the things that you've taken that were nothing and became something because you created them, you put life into it? Start to write down anything that comes to mind relating to this that you have done, that you've created, and that you're really happy about. And finally, our last section here. Naming a few specific things I really love about what I think I bring to the world around me. If you were to answer this question, what are some of the things that you as a unique person are giving of yourself to the world and around you? What are you influencing? If you were to describe your essence, your person, so going through everything you've written, should it be with your physical attributes, with your heart, your mind, your creative side, things that you've taken upon yourself, and just anything about you. How are you as a person that you are impacting the world around you? It can be small things, it can be big things, it can be how you're affecting yourself, how every day you're waking up and taking the decision of being a better person, and therefore you're a really good influence on yourself and others. Maybe you're someone that regularly appreciates nature, and therefore you're really giving back to nature and bringing that energy about you. So just take your time, closing your eyes, tuning into everything you've written so far. What is the conclusion here in a positive and joyful and purposeful way? How are you impacting the world around you as the unique person that you are? Let's go. Don't hold back. And just taking all the time you want here in this section. Feel free to pause the video and then come back to it when you're ready to close this session together. All right, beautiful. That's it for today's wellness home session with me. I'm Helga, and I'm really, really happy and honored that you've taken this class, and hopefully it was really great for you. I would like you to keep this paper or this journal with all the things you love about yourself and really regularly read it back. Maybe, when you wake up early morning, just sort of emerging back from sleep, have a quick glance at this and connect with the joy in your heart and the uniqueness of you. Maybe before going to sleep, you have a quick look at this and you read it over and you go to sleep feeling really happy and good about yourself. I want you to know that it is very important how we go about life in our own skin, in our own bodies, in our hearts and in our minds. If you feel good about yourself, if you regularly choose to see the things that make you beautiful, that you like about yourself, you are gonna walk this earth being this way. And the opposite is also true. If you are constantly beating yourself up and just noticing things that you don't like about yourself, your personality, your body, if you're always thinking, I should be this or that, then that's also a certain energy that you're walking around with that doesn't necessarily serve you. So, ending today's session with the card that we started with, the card number 42 of the Intuitive Oracle deck, the joyful. So let's repeat this affirmation 2 times together. The affirmation was, I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. Let's say that together one more time. I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. Great. Now have a beautiful rest of your day. You're awesome. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.